Ladies and gentlemen, hello, how are we all? I do apologise for our tardiness, although my watch says 8 o'clock. I'll just do that to prove it. But we are a little bit late, and that's because of my phone that is laying on the floor behind me where I just threw it in disgust because it's wiped out. Well, it's done many things. It wouldn't pay my bill last week. It wouldn't show my train tickets, nearly got me thrown off a train. And now, in the last couple of days, it's erased all my WhatsApp contacts. Such great fun. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are really lucky tonight because I love these when we have another YouTuber on the channel. And as you can see, right in front of you is another YouTuber. It's Mr.
Wandering.
How are you, sir?
I'm all right. Thank you very much.
It's all the other buggers, isn't it? So, yeah, Dave has got a channel in which he wanders around while he ponders, and that's why he calls himself the Wandering Ponderer. Now, he's based in Essex, and he often does videos around his hometown, which is a fascinating little place, which Jeff and I are going to descend on from at one point, in some point.
I'm going to camp there until he runs me off.
There you go. And I'm going to bring him. So there you go. So anyway, tonight's show is a little bit different because we've decided, Jeff and I made a conscious decision. We're going to reduce the number of videos we show. In fact, this camera's up here. It's not looking at me, is it? I'm sorry. That's better. Jeff decided with me that we're going to have less videos on the show tonight. We're going to concentrate more on you guys out there in what's it called?
Chatland.
Yes, out there in video land. And there is lots of people. I could see loads of people.
Yes, there is. We have Andrew Norris with us tonight. And of course, the station master we have with us tonight, and Roland. I would really love to see where Roland lives. I can only imagine how beautiful the Black Forest is.
Well, I can tell you for nothing. One of the first, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. My parents' house is for sale, as you all know. And the day it sells, I'm getting on the first train to the other side of Le Manche, as the French call it, or the channel. And I am going to travel around Europe for a few weeks, getting it out my system. And one of the places I'm going to go is where Roland lives.
Can I go? Can I go? Can I go?
Jeff, come, because I'm going to come back with a cuckoo clock for Jeff. You see, that's my intention, to buy Jeff a proper, genuine Black Forest cuckoo clock.
You know, I used to have one, but you know, it just got wore out. They're the one that I had wooden gears and.
Well, it's a proper one. It's a traditional one. So it's my intention. While I'm in Germany, I will buy Jeff a proper Black Forest cuckoo clock. I shall box it up while I'm in Europe, and I shall send it over the oceans to Jeff. By the way, Jeff, I think your parcel's due for delivery tomorrow.
It is, and I'm really looking forward to it. Gabriel kindly sent me an English. Help me out here. My mind went blank. The board game,
Monopoly.
A British Monopoly, which I don't know if you guys are aware, it's completely different than ours. It has British place names and hotel names, and I'm going to build a shadow box with it to put on the wall. And also, he kindly sent me some tokens from the day that him and Dave went to the Tim Hunkins arcade, and also there's a large old style pound coin that I'm going to put on my keychain.
They're actually crowns. They're Winston Churchill crowns. Jeff hadn't seen a Winston Churchill crown, and I've got a bag of 20 or 30 crowns. I don't know why, but I had to dig through, and there's some Churchill crowns in there. So they're on their way to America.
Show them what I can do with coins. Show them what I can do with coins.
Yes, let me show you. If you give Jeff a coin, you might not see it. Oh, Christ. You might not see it again. Oh, bloody hell. Why is nothing ever easy? You might not see it again as a coin because he has this habit of changing things. For example, this silver bangle, which I don't know if you can you see that? That started off life as a Mexican coin. And what Jeff did is he, with a very fine saw, cut a spiral, kept cutting a spiral so that he had, instead of a coin, a long piece of metal, which he then fashioned into a bangle, which I wear every day. I never take it off, except for now to show it to you. And also, in America, not a lot of people know this outside of America. I didn't. Other people, probably much better intelligent than I will have seen these before. See, that's a buffalo on there. Can you see that buffalo? I don't know how clear that is. There he is. He's clearer. Look, there's a buffalo on. God, it's difficult in reverse. That side. Can you see a buffalo? Jeff, tell them what these coins are.
They're buffalo nickels from
That's a bison.
A bison. It's a buffalo.
And they're silver, and I fashioned them into a bangle.
Bit of silver, bit of soldering, and there you go. I wear that on my wrist also. It's fascinating because I didn't even know these things existed. Can you tell us a bit about them, Jeff? Why they
Buffalo
were
nickels? It was just, they change our coinage from time to time, and it's just one of the things that they had. They had buffalo nickels a long time, and they're completely gone now. Now you rarely ever see them. Some of them are worth a lot of money due to their rarity. Some of them aren't really. I think all of those are 1935s. They're not super valuable because they're fairly low silver content.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie's with us tonight. I think I would really like Jackie. I think we would hit it off. Allison O'Brien is with us, and Mark's Adventures. Yeah, pretty much everybody's here, and welcome everybody.
Excellent. That's fantastic. Thank you all for joining up. I know Charlie's here from Jungle Property, and one of my founding fathers of my small company, which a bit of news, that our channel, the channel on which we're sitting, is now sponsored. We now have a sponsor, and that sponsor is the Heart of the Tribe Gallery here in Glastonbury, where art meets community. Now, you've probably seen me in and out of there an awful lot. I'm forever talking to Kim Von Coles and some of the other people down there. It's a cracking place, and I'm absolutely honoured that they've chosen to help us out and keep things moving along, which is great. Dave, I've got to say, I am rather envious of that room you're sitting in, because up until about, let me see, up until about 2017, I used to produce dance music, and I had a room just like that. In fact, look, there's one of my guitars still up on the wall over there. I've got electric guitars, bass guitars. I had several synths. I had a Roland JX80. I had the Yamaha CS01. I had the Yamaha YX01. I had many samplers. I had racks of stuff. And this room used to be like a studio like that. So seeing that behind you makes me rather envious, because I miss all that. I really do. The only keyboard I've got left now is the Yamaha DJ something or other, which is like whoopsie daisy, that's not good. Hang on. It's like
you can get half of that. Well,
it's got loads of DJ type dance styles built in, because I do like the dance music. But no, it's good to see all that stuff.
You blacked out for a bit there.
Did I? Am I back again?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Did you hear back again?
Can you hear me, Jeff?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're not as loud as you normally are.
Hang on, let's cure that. Is that better? Am I louder? Good. Yeah, so I was just saying that I really miss all that electric stuff. God dear. I've got electric guitar left, I've got a bass left, I've got an acoustic guitar left, I've got a drum, and that's it. All the electrical stuff I got rid of.
We have a video that you made that we want to show a little bit later. That is an idea, a kernel of an idea that Andrew Norris told us about.
Yeah.
It's a channel that he really likes, and it's a guy who bought a gold mine, a ghost town, and is in the process of refurbishing it And I've watched some of his videos in the past. I'm familiar with his channel. And so he's going to join us when we show that video that you made. And tell us a little bit about the parts of his videos that he really enjoys. But first,
We have an
uh,
honored guest.
we want to hear about the Wandering Ponderer, because I
Absolutely.
have to say, the Wandering Ponderer is one of my absolute favorite YouTubers. Every Saturday morning, that is the first thing I do when I wake up, is I watch his latest video. I get what he's trying to do. I get what he is attempting to do when he tells these stories of these people that are long gone. And so tell us about your channel, Dave.
Yes.
It's basically, it started out during lockdown, and I was just out and about walking amongst the nature that we've got around the area. We've got several places you can go, one of which is Mark's Hall. I did lots of out and about nature videos, and eventually I branched into delving into the history of Coggeshall more. And especially after I had a mini stroke, which restricted me quite a bit, and I really got into the history of Coggeshall.
Which
And
was
there's
one
an
of the
awful
worst
lot.
days of my life. I remember it well. I was worried sick.
Mm.
Well, I'm glad I'm over it. That was a scary time. That
It
was a
was.
scary time.
It was very scary. And you produce your own music, unlike other YouTubers that use a music service. You write your own music and you play your own music, which is something that you share with Andrew Norris.
Yeah, I like to tailor the music I have. I write it, and I have a library of it, but sometimes I reorchestrate it and change it a little bit to suit the video that I want to apply it to. Um, I don't always get to write a fresh piece for every video, because I've got such a back catalogue now that I can use for all sorts of different scenarios. And I enjoy, it's a part of the video process I enjoy a lot.
And of course, you have the added advantage, because when you write this, you're generating MIDI code, which means if you write a film, and I don't know about you, when I'm editing a film, quite often what I'm doing is I'm trying to time the cuts to hit the music changes. So as a change of beat or a breakdown, the music that kind of dictates where the video is going to have to go. You have the advantage. You can make your music fit the video by speeding it up or slowing it down, because with MIDI, you've got those options that you don't have with an audio file.
Well, I quite often I edit when I cut to different sections.
Mm-hmm.
I edit on the beat.
Yes, like me.
So I'll cut it on the beat. Rather than adjust the music, I adjust the edit. So I film with that in mind usually.
Gotcha.
And one of the pieces that you play a lot in your videos is a piece that you wrote and you named it Jeff's Theme. And it's funny because I absolutely love that song. I have it on a file, and sometimes I just play it when I'm going down the road.
It is a good piece of music. It's a cracking piece of music. That I like it a lot.
Patricia is with us tonight.
Yes.
And Allison O'Brien says, "Good evening, Gabe and Jeff. Hope you are both well. Could you say happy birthday to my son on this Thursday? Let's see. I read somewhere he's going to be 30.
Her son's going to be 30 on Thursday. Whoa,
Yeah.
that's a milestone, because you start becoming middle age at 30. I think you're no longer a young at 30, are you? You start down that road. You become responsible and buy houses and do things like that when you're in your 30s.
Andrew Norris says you have chosen a good sponsor. Yes, they are very, very, very nice people, and they have been very good to us.
They have been superb, and I just love what they're doing in the community to bring art into the community, because art can be very snobbish and highbrow. And hello, Poppy. Art can be very snobbish and highbrow, and I think anything that brings that to normal people and allows people to have an enjoyment of art, I will support that all day long, because it's just important. Because so many people don't get that opportunity. They don't go to art galleries because they're so highbrow. I mean, I'm intending to go to the V&A at some point soon.
Patricia is with us tonight. She says, I am currently listening. And Barry West is with us tonight. Hello, Barry. You are the most fantastic person. You have supported us every possible way that there is.
Whoever that is, I love him. Oh, look. Sorry, Jeff. Carry on.
Let's see. I don't know if I said hello to Mark's Adventures. He's with us tonight. Oh, Allison O'Brien was asking a while back. I've lost it, but she was wanting to know if you could tell us how she could send us some pictures of her guinea pigs to show.
To the show, yes. If she just sends them to Glastonbury Gabriel, all one word, @gmail.com. Easy. And I love pictures of guinea pigs. Can I just say, before you go back to the comments, it's related to the comments. You mentioned Patricia, and but then I want to hear about this character here. I want to know all about this guy. Patricia, first thing, hurt her back a few days back at the weekend, and she's not having a very good time with it. So if we could all just wish Patricia good tidings and hope that she gets better soon.
Yeah.
And
Positive energy.
5 minutes before the show went live, my door's going ring, 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 ring. I'm going, who's that? I go to the door. It's Patricia and George with my birthday present.
Oh, wonderful.
I invited them in to see if they wanted to come on and say hello, but they wanted to get back. So I've not opened this yet. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to open it live on air. Here we go. It says, happy birthday. I hope all your wishes come true. I don't know what's in. Is it chocolate?
Oh.
Is it edible or not? Let's have a look. Happy birthday. Hope all your wishes come true. Well, they just did, because I got a lovely birthday present through the door that I wasn't expecting. Ladies and gentlemen, I love these people. Dun, dun, dun. Look at that. A box of candies. I am as happy as a pig in you know what. Patricia and George, mwah, I love you both, and thank you very much for thinking of me.
That's very nice. We were hoping tonight, Ponderer, we're going to let a little secret out about you tonight that people don't know about. And they should know, because it's pretty amazing.
Brilliant. It's absolutely amazing.
Dave, the Wandering Ponderer, is actually a very, very, very accomplished magician. As a matter of fact, he actually won Stage Performer of the Year. So we were hoping tonight that you would saw Mrs. Ponderer in half for us.
Yes. Can you do that? Saw Mrs. P in half?
Can I?
Saw Mrs. P in half.
No. Oh, no.
No,
I know my place.
The other thing that we were hoping we could get you to do tonight is, you know, when they take the watch and they wrap it up in the handkerchief and they smash it
with a hammer.
We're hoping, because you know, you probably have an inexpensive watch sitting around.
Well, I have a few watches. You know, well, I call them watches, but really they're cogs and bits of glass now.
I've got to know.
There's a nice railway watch I could use.
No!
Who's this wonderful character? I love it. It reminds me of.
This is Herman. He
Herman.
loves guinea pigs.
Does he? But he couldn't eat a whole one.
He really loves guinea pigs.
How did you like them served?
Well, he likes them raw, apparently.
Well, good. Hello, buddy.
He's easy to feed.
Is he?
Easy to feed. He loves children.
Could he eat a whole one?
He's better than a cat. Oh, no, he doesn't eat them.
He
Doesn't eat them. Won't eat a kid.
Does he sort of taste
No.
them? No. Doesn't even taste them. Oh.
Yeah,
I was in a store a couple weeks ago, and they had a sign up that said, "Unattended children will be given energy drinks and taught bad words."
So was this wonderful character part of your stage act, Dave, or is he someone who's come along?
Well,
later?
he does. Yeah, he's a mind-reading bird. He reads people's minds. He
Can
does.
you do that remotely,
He's read you. He's read yours.
Because after he keeps it stum. Look on his face, and I'm not sure I like it. So what am I thinking?
Well, you've been today. Apparently, you've been thinking about one of his friends who left an egg in your garden.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad. We're going to come to that later. I'm so please accept my apologies. It wasn't my fault. I was forced into it. But you'll see why later. Poor thing. I think you identified it as a blackbird nest, didn't you?
Yeah, it's blackbird egg.
Yeah. I'll go into it in a minute, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got a film. But let's just say my housing landlords didn't like my, should we say, wilded garden, and forced me to cut it all back. And they insisted that I did it during the nesting season, and I found a nest. So I rang them up, and they said, "Oh, we'll just do the ground, don't do the bushes and shrubs." Why did you tell me to do that in the first place? I mean, do you not understand this? My housing officer should have known. But anyway, that's that. So that's kind of really upsetting, but we'll go into that later, because it's actually a good story because we've done the garden.
So tell us how you got started in magic, Ponderer.
Yeah. Well, I've always been interested in magic ever since I was a kid. So most magicians will tell you that they started in magic when they got their first magic set. And it was the same with me. I grew up with lots of magicians on the TV. The first magician I remember is David Nixon. Anybody remember David Nixon?
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of American magicians that we used to see on the TV, and lots of great acts. And as a kid, I used to love it. I got magic books and magic sets, and I just enjoyed it. But I never actually became a performing magician, to the public for quite some time. Not until, I started when I got married, really. And Mrs. P drove me out of the house, to go and do a bit of magic. Wouldn't let me saw her in half. I had daughters who would perform with me on stage.
Would your daughters let you saw them in half?
No, I didn't. That's one trick I haven't done, sawing the woman in half.
Mm.
We have Phoenix history with us. Hi, gentlemen. Currently stuck in traffic. I quickly just wanted to say, love the channel as always. Keep up the great work, and I'll watch the full show tomorrow morning. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Jackie says 30 is young. My daughter just turned 48. When you are 70, everyone else is a baby under 50.
I know. And also, as you get older, time goes quicker.
Barry West says, "Have you any pets, Jeff?" Yes, I do. I do.
First,
I
Pete,
do.
here
I
you go.
do. I do. I have Pete.
Pete the sock monkey. Yay!
Pete. I have Pete. Pete was a gift from my sister. Pete is a world traveler. He came over to England and was over there and traveled around. It was a gift from my sister. My sister says she didn't want me to be alone all the time, so she gave me Pete. She said that he has all the responsibilities that I could handle. So,
That's the other thing. Yeah. No responsibility needed.
he's the perfect traveling companion because no matter how stressful things get, I've never heard him say a disparaging word.
No.
And he's pretty easy to clean up after. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
I have my own version of the station master.
Oh, let's look.
Look at
Oh,
that.
look.
it is Bernie. It is
Do you
Bernie.
recognise him, Jackie?
Definitely.
He oversees everything I do.
That's Bernie. Bless him.
We should ask Jackie. Jackie might want him instead. He might be easier to take care of.
Oh. Bernie, if you can hear all this, I'm nothing to do with this conversation. I just want to make that. I want to distance myself here. Listen,
Bernie's a lovely chap. He sits there all day, doesn't complain.
No. I got cats. They sit there all day complaining. Normally that I haven't fed them enough or whatever, because mine, they'll eat a type of food for a certain amount of time, and then I'll go out one day, and I'm sure they have a meeting. Because when I come home again, they've stopped eating that food completely. They just will not eat it. So you have to go out and buy the next grade up. And I'm now at the most expensive one you can buy in the supermarket. There's nowhere else to go. And I think they know that because they haven't had a conversation. They decided they don't like this because the next step is nothing.
Well, the next step is you getting on a bus and Berry's bus and going all the way to Harrods in London.
Why would I go there? What have they got?
Harrods, they got the best cat food.
Have they?
In Harrods. That's what the cats like. They're very fussy.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, if they want it, like the cat, the hanky over it, the doors that way. London is that way. They're welcome. They're more than welcome to go and get themselves some of that food. Talking of Bernie sent us in a video. Shall we watch it? It's all about trains, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm a bit biased. Jeff, you look like you want to say something.
I was just going to say that Bernie is the absolute salt of the earth. He's one of my favorite people on the entire earth, and he has been very gracious to us and has helped us, and it's very much appreciated. And I've enjoyed the videos that he sent in very much, and I saw this one because you can't be trusted with videos anymore because you lose them. So now you send me a backup copy as soon as you get them, and I watched it, and it's very good.
It is, and two fascinating little engines as well. If you want to ring in and tell us about them, Bernie, you're more than welcome. But for now, let's just cut to the trains video. Now, the front of these two locomotives is called Hastings. And it's what's known as a saddle tank. Can you see that? What looks like a saddle sitting over the boiler? That's the water tank. And the one behind it is what's called the carrier tank. It's a tank from each side of the boiler and looks like an engine. Beautiful old I love it. Not one of those.
Not a carriage much younger than 100 years old between them.
There you go. I don't know if you caught that, but Bernie was telling us at the end of that video, there is not a carriage of less than 100 years old in that entire video. So that's good. Oh, hello. That's not right. Where do we go? What do we do? We'll do. I don't know how we were before, so we're gonna have to go back to that. Never mind. It's just a random way of doing it. I don't quite know
No rehearsal for us.
No, we got a rehearsal. What's that? There's a button. I'll press it and see what happens.
Station Master says, I used to like David Nixon. We never got David. I don't ever remember seeing David Nixon over here. The two that we got every year was the guy with the emu. Every year at Christmas, he was on one of the shows like Merv Griffin or one of the late night shows, and the other one was oh, my mind went blank. Andrew Norris says, I remember Pete. We filmed him in Sussex.
We did indeed. Oh, they did. I didn't, because he went out on a walk. Was it one of Kevin's walks, I think? Can't remember. Must have been, because Kevin had him for a while.
Yeah, I think that's right. I was noticing the cars on that train were the kind that have the individual doors, like that was in the movie The Quiet Man.
Yeah, compartment trains. Yeah, but we used to do it back then. And the only trouble was, once you were in that carriage and that door was shut, if you found yourself in there with someone unsavoury, between stations, there's no getting out. Because you've got a door on each side that leads to the big wide world. There's no corridor, there's no way out. And I think that's what led to their downfall. But I'm sure Bernie will tell us if I'm wrong. But that's it. So, now we've got another film, which I'm going to go to in a minute. But I just wanted to ask Dave, if, for example, one of our viewers decided, you know what, I'd like to be a magician, what would your advice be to somebody setting off down that road today?
Go to the library. Look up books on magic. The libraries are full of books on magic. You get some of the best books that are available in libraries. You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
and that's the best place to start. If you fancy it, get yourself a magic set. It doesn't matter if it's a kid's one, because a lot of the kids' magic sets these days have quite sophisticated little tricks in them. And that'll get you started.
Can you remember the first trick you learned?
First trick I learned? Yeah. That is the disappearing silk.
I was bought a
and I'll show you that later.
Okay, thank you. Go on, Jeff, after you.
I think I got in a cereal box. It was like a little ping pong ball, but it was only half, and they gave you two little sponge balls, and the little sponge ones fit in there, and you could do them in your fingers. I could never do it, but
my parents bought me a magic set when I was about 10, but I could never make it appear, so I never saw it. I wasn't very good. That was a feeble joke. But anyway, Jeff got it. Yes, I've nothing but admiration for you and your magic, because you rose quite high in the magic circle, didn't you?
Not quite high in the magic circle. I was never a member of the London Magic Circle.
Okay.
I was a member of a local magic circle called the Mid-Essex Magical Society. There's magical societies all over the place. The magic circle is the one that most people sort of hear of, because all the great TV magicians were members of it, and that's based in London.
So basically, the magic circle, as we know it and is well known, is literally just the group that's in London. It's not a. I thought it was like an umbrella
Well,
thing.
it's grown bigger than just London. I mean, anybody who's gone professional
Is in it.
becomes a member of the Magic Circle. It's either the Magic Circle or the British Magical Society.
Okay.
Those are the two big prominent ones. But
And
lots of the little ones have risen up as well to be quite prominent in England.
And is it like, for example, I don't think it's so bad now, but I think they still do it. You had to be like a card-carrying actor if you wanted to work. You had to have a card from the actors carry. Is it the same? Do you have to be like a Black Magic Circle member to work as a magician, or does it help?
Most of the professional magicians that I associated with in the Magic Circle in London, they were all most of them had two jobs. The magic was like a second job because
That's surprising.
The money to get really successful. It's a bit like being a musician, really, or an actor. A lot of the Hollywood actresses and actors, had a day job as well as their acting job.
Oh, I see.
Some people would work in restaurants, and it's the same for magicians, really, in this day and age, because magic isn't quite as popular as it used to be. So the work's not there.
I was going to ask that because you don't see magic shows like you used to see them. I mean, you used to see like there'd be billboards for magicians all over the place. I mean, I asked earlier, what if somebody wanted to get into the profession? If they do get into the profession, is there a profession there still to get into like there used to be? Or is it less so?
I mean, I started out doing sort of things like kids' parties and things like that.
Go away, will it?
That's where Herman comes in. Well, I first time I used Herman was actually in a competition that Jeff said that I won in the Mid-Essex Magical Society, and I won Stage Magician of the Year with Herman doing my mind reading act.
I've got to tell you, next year, putting it out there now, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, next year I want a party on my birthday and I want Herman there. I think Herman is I'm in love with Herman. I absolutely adore him. He's just got that look on his face. It reminds me of is it the Muppets? That bird with that expression. I love it. Anyway, Jeff, over to you. You wanted to say something.
I was just going to say that the lottery over here tonight, the Mega Millions, is 560 millions. It's 560 million. If I hit it, let's all meet in Las Vegas, and David can do a show for us.
Absolutely, that would be fun, wouldn't it? That would be brilliant. So, with it being that much, are you going to bother to have a go? Because I know you don't bother if it's less than 300. It's hard.
If it's not, it's got to be at least 300 million because, I don't want to cut back on the way I live, So.
Yes. Right. I'm going to, if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce Andrew Norris, who is sitting in our green room drinking all the wine. So I better go over there before he drinks it. Let's bring him in. And there he is. Hello, Andrew. How are you, my friend?
Hello, everybody. The wine is very good. I'm enjoying myself here. Don't worry.
I decorated the green room last week. How nice it's looking in there.
I appreciate all the bunting draped around the walls. It's very nice.
Absolutely. We like to push the boat out. Now, Andrew sent us in a video today. It's a YouTube channel he follows, and this guy, he's I've never met anybody like this guy. He is totally amazing, and he lives his life out. He bought, if I got this correct, an old gold mine, hasn't he?
It's a silver mine in Silver Mine Country near Death Valley. He bought it about 4 or 5 years ago. I've been following him really from the very beginning. He had this kind of strange vision to restore this silver mine village, this town, and he's researching the history. He's looking up books which chart and record the different silver mines, and some of his videos he goes down into the deep mines, and it is remarkable what he's done. And one of the buildings, a major building in that settlement, was destroyed by. It was a devastating thing for him, but he has managed to galvanize a lot of people to come and help, to volunteer. I mean, this village, this town, the silver mine town, is way up in the mountains, and most construction companies wouldn't come anywhere near him because of the difficulty of negotiating the road. But I've been following him for about four years now, really from the beginning. And he did a video today where he was walking through the wilderness, really, trying to find these different silver mines that smaller people had started kind of digging in, and it's so moving. And he knew about the various people who were connected with each of these mines, and he followed their trail to each of these mines. And there was one chap that his story he knew about, and then he found his beekeeping equipment. I get very emotional about it. I find the whole story really, really so touching. In some ways, it reflects in a very small way what I'm doing in my village in Croatia. And I'm always quoting Thomas Hardy, who said it's better to know a little of the world very well than a lot of the world very little. And this chap, Brent, he is really delving deep into the, vertically into the history of this location, the mine, the people. It's really moving, I have to say, rather than, traveling around the world, looking at all the different countries, different cultures in a very superficial way. And when you come back home, you've actually learned nothing. You've learned nothing. But you spend time in one location, which what I've done, for the past 18 years, I've been recording the culture of this little village, which is a microcosm of all the villages in Croatia. There's nothing particularly special about my village. The characters that I meet wandering the little lanes in my village, you'll find them in every village across the country.
Across the world. Absolutely.
Absolutely, Gabe. Absolutely, yeah.
Some of your videos, though, are absolutely heart-wrenching. I remember a few years ago, there was one guy that you used to video every year when you guys, after the plum harvest, and you guys did fermented the plums. He used to sing. He would sing while he was. And I'll tell you, when he passed, it was like losing a family member.
He lives, 2 minutes from me, and he sometimes visits me, and I like to, if I hear this faint sound of a harmonica wafting in the air, I always go over and visit him. He's the only person, as I say, at my end of the village who plays the harmonica, and he writes his own songs, and his songs eulogize about the beauty of the village, and there's a poignancy to some of them. He sings about people who have left the village. When I say left, meaning they've died. They've gone from the village, and it's a tragedy for the culture of this country, which is in the past few years is dramatically changing.
I've got to say, the guy in the video, I don't think I've ever met anybody with so much sense of purpose, because he gets set back after setback. In fact, he could call his channel, "How many setbacks have I had this week?"
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he comes back after all of them, doesn't he? And he overruns it. He absolutely
you know,
incredible.
when you feel you are on a mission, whether that's recording the culture, recording the history, nothing will deter you. I mean, Gabe, you know, I watch your videos. You have this strong determination to record every aspect of culture in Glastonbury, and nothing will stop you doing that.
No.
And I find it so moving. You know, it brings me to tears even now talking about it. You have a vision to record that culture in a small location, as Thomas Hardy said, and I find that really moving, Gabe. I have to say that. And Dave, I'm very pleased to actually be able to interact with you now, because you've always been kind to say hello to me, comment occasionally on my videos, and that when we interact on other live shows. So I'm delighted. I've just subscribed to you, and I'm sorry didn't do it earlier. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier, but you have a new subscriber.
More than merrier. Well, I think it's
Absolutely.
brilliant. And the video tonight that I'm going to show in a minute, the reason I wanted to show this part of it is because it talks about bees. Now, I'm
yeah,
sure
that's I broke down on that watching that.
I'm sure I don't have to tell people pollinators are the backbone that keep us alive. We
Exactly.
lose pollinators, we're dead. We're gone, because nothing will grow. There'll be no plants for the animals to eat. There'll be no animals to eat. We are cocoed completely. And this guy, he goes back. Now, the thing about Death Valley and the area they're in is the air is so dry. Everything. You leave stuff in a cave, 120 years later, a guy will come along with his YouTube camera and it's as you left it.
Exactly. Yes, it's all preserved.
Exactly. It's as the guy walked out. This guy walked out of that cave years and years ago. He was from back east, and he decided he'd had enough and he was going to head out west and do what he's going to do. And he ended up doing bees. But I'm not going to tell you anymore, because I want to show you this film. This is beautifully filmed, and it tells a really good story of a guy who used to keep bees. Here we go.
Good.
Favorite part of going to these very obscure places is seeing signs of human life and trying to understand why those people were here. And most of the time, the answer is mining. And so that's the answer in this canyon primarily. You know, there was McElvoy Canyon, and that is why people knew it. But these days, this canyon is much better known for a beekeeper, which I think is just amazing. A beekeeper way out here, a few days hike from the closest town. And this all came about because I think in the 1980s, some people started researching the area. They were hiking up from the Saline Valley side, which is a lower descent to get up here. And they found these waterfalls. And these were 100-foot, 200-foot waterfalls, a series of waterfalls. And in these waterfalls were these crazily constructed ladders made out of twine and wood that are going right up the waterfall that just looked insanely dangerous. Imagine a 200-foot waterfall with a handmade ladder made out of twine and some wood. And so people started thinking, what is going on here? You know, they made it up further in the canyon. They found some huts, and these huts had beekeeping equipment in them. It had the helmets, you know, the nets, the little smokers, the cases. And they're thinking, what in the world? What is somebody doing beekeeping? So this was a big kind of mystery for a long time in this area. And then finally, in the 1990s, they tracked him down, the beekeeper of McElvoy Canyon. And his name was Marion Howard, and he grew up out east to an unsatisfying job at Chrysler, I believe. So he said, I'm going west to make my living. He packed up, made his way to Lone Pine, and in the 1960s, he started just coming into this canyon. He would hike from Lone Pine, which is about 3,500 feet in elevation, up and over Keenot Pass, which is 11,000 feet in elevation, and then back down here to 3,500 feet in elevation. So this man was determined. And throughout all of those travels, he never used a pack mule. It was just him and a canvas duffel sack. And eventually he said, hey, you know, it'd be cool to tend to some bees out there. And so that is what he started doing.
Over here we have one of his smokers. That is so cool. Look at that. I wonder if he made that where I imagine that's how you smoke out the bees. Oh my god. Oh, one of his beekeeper nets to keep the bees out. I think these would have been for the honeycombs. These would have been the trays that are sat inside of the combs to go in and out. There's some Union Carbide there. Pile of clothes that are probably not so good these days. And some straw. It looks like this was his bed. You can see there's canvas down. He brought in a bunch of straw to act as his bed. And oh man! And there's his canvas duffel sack, like I read about. The clothes are still in the canvas sack. Oh my god, he wasn't lying. There's his sack. It's crazy to think that this is where he lived, you know? This is the view that he would have every day. Oh man, that is so freaking cool. Talk about humanizing history. I've read about this story for so long, and now to be out here and see this place is just so cool. That makes the whole trip worthwhile for me.
And there you go.
I think one of the key sentences he said was humanizing history.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's what it's all about. You do humanize history. I think, I mean, I have got watches like this.
exactly.
That is Rockford. Beautiful. It's an 18 size railway watch. It's extremely rare. The reason being that the company that made this, the guy that owns it, his grandson was kidnapped and killed, and he never got over it. And the company went after that. But this is one of my favorite watches because it's kind of a workman's watch. It's not a fancy case.
But
It's
it has
sort of
history
thing
to it.
an engineer would have carried. Whereas these
Yeah.
beautiful watches like this one, which is a 999B, that would have been somebody in a suit would have worn that, probably a time inspector or somebody like that. But the workman, the guy at the face, the rock face, or whatever you want to call it, they have watches in cases like this, and I love that. I love the feeling of connecting with people who were doing the work, you know, and actually were the workmen. And I love going to places in England. We have places like Beamish, and I was talking to Merlin today about the Black Country Museum up in the Midlands. Must go to that, where they recreate life, if you like, back in those times.
Yeah.
And it's you see, history, if you think about history, it records the monarchs, the presidents, the people with all the power and the money. It doesn't record the people on the ground. If you want to know the history of people on the ground, do not study history. Take archaeology. That's where you learn people.
The
I
book
tell you, we have an archaeological site in my village, and it is we have a walled enclosure which they are gradually revealing. We have the oldest church, 5th century church, the oldest church in the continental part of Croatia. But the archaeologists, they excavated a site where there was a lot of stinging nettles. Now, stinging nettles grow where the soil is particularly alkaline, lime. And they excavated and they found a structure. And within the structure, they found a purse. Okay, the material had decayed, but the metal structure was there. And within that purse, there were 9 Roman coins. And one coin in particular was so fresh, you felt you were touching, making a connection with the person who owned that coin. It was so clear. It was a deeply moving experience.
It is. It's a connection, and I was an archaeologist for several years. I went to university and did all that, and I've dug Roman stuff in Exeter. And we were finding curbstones that hadn't been found before because of the way the roads were built. They had these. They were like terracotta curbstones. Still in situ, which apparently is very rare. There was a few coins found, but you know, when you find something like a little oil bottle that they put the oil in and you light the spout and that gives you a light. Somebody would have been carrying that. Somebody might even have treasured that. Somebody would have used that. And you're the first person in all those intervening years to
reuse it.
Never mind touch it.
Yeah.
You know, that you can never get away from that. That is.
I know. Yeah, I know. He's touching the past in a tangible way. It is extraordinary.
It is good.
It's, to me, it's amazing putting the stuff back in service, like Bernie's watch. Just think, Bernie's watch was built for a purpose, and it lost that purpose, and it was languishing in someone's attic or someone's drawer, and now it's back doing the exact thing that it was built to do.
Meant for. Exactly.
On a railway station.
Exactly, Jeff.
That's absolutely perfect. Yeah, and that is a great thing. And I I see that when I see him with his watch, because I'm sure he don't mind. We're talking about you, Bernie. We know you're there. He wears his station master uniform and he looks great, and he's got the hat he's got double chain, and he looks the part, and just
looks the part.
The end of that chain is a proper bona fide railroad watch that would only have been sold to somebody on the railroad. You couldn't buy it if you didn't work on the railroad or you weren't a doctor. But that's where it's at for me. I think it's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah,
I agree. Absolutely. Yeah.
Dave, did you want to say something?
But the other end of the chain is a great gent.
Yes.
I said at the other end of the chain is a great gentleman.
A great gentleman. Yeah, he's a good bloke, he's Bernie. And then recently, Mr. Ponderer here, he received a chain just like that with his two favourite people on it, didn't you?
Yes, so? Mrs. P and Tommy Cooper.
Mrs. P and Tommy C, as I call them.
I found a locket online that you would wear on the end of a watch chain, a really, really, really nice one. And the second I saw it, I said, I know who needs that. So we got it, and Gabriel did all the legwork. Gabriel found the pictures and had them printed on photograph paper and had them fitted into the locket and all that. Gabriel did all the work. Anyway, it has his two favorite people in the entire world. When you open the locket, one side is Mrs. Ponderer and the other side is Tommy Cooper.
I just saw a kind of I think it was on Facebook. I subscribe to this site.
Everybody's frozen,
and they show pictures of characters from the 70s, 80s, and 90s characters. And there was one picture with Tommy Cooper and his interaction with the Queen when he was getting, I think, a knighthood or an OBE or some award. And he was talking with the Queen, and he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And she said, "Of course you can." He said, he asked her, "Are you interested in football?" And she said, "No." So Tommy said, "Can I have your tickets for the FA Cup?" It's the final football competition for the top, like the World Cup, but just for England. It's, the top teams. He wanted the tickets.
My one claim to fame with Tommy C is that I met his brother on several occasions. His brother had a magic shop in Slough.
Oh.
I lived in Uxbridge. I was born and brought up in Uxbridge, and Slough was a town I used to go to a lot. It's closed. And I used to go in there. It's just a fascinating shop. You go in, there's all this stuff. And he looked like Tommy Cooper, or Tommy Cooper looked like him.
Yeah. I'm sure, yeah.
Apparently, Tommy Cooper was often seen in there, but I never had the luck. I wasn't in there often enough. But...
Yeah. Well, without his fez, you might not have recognised him.
Oh, you'd recognise him. He's about 17 foot tall and built like a concrete brick shithouse. He's a big bloke. big bloke. And he's up here. He's huge, lumbering great chap. But you talk about a gentle giant. Absolutely. Because he started off in the factories entertaining all the boys in the canteen.
Is that so? Right.
Starting off and he was struggling because he wasn't very good at the magic tricks. I mean, I'm sure Dave will tell you all this. And he noticed that the more he screwed up, the more they laughed. And so he started deliberately screwing up. But of course, in the meantime, he's become a top-notch actual magician. I mean, he could do all of those tricks with his eyes shut. He was a top man, but he just made a career out of getting it wrong. And I think that's so clever, and he did it so well.
Indeed, yeah. That was his niche, wasn't it?
If you want to shed some tears, Andrew, this is the book. This the Old Way was a story about a guy who fought in World War I, and he wrote this book. He traveled a Roman road from one end of the Roman road to the other because he knew that he was going to get drafted, so he did it before he was drafted. Anyway, got drafted, went over to France. He got killed, and the book was actually published after he died.
Posthumously.
It's a very sad story.
Tell me the name of the book. No, I can't. It's
Icknield
very
Way.
small.
It's the Icknield Way.
Not Edward Thomas, of course. Edward Thomas. Yeah. I know it. I have that book.
It's a very good book. It's the one that I'm reading right now.
Edward Thomas is one of my favorite poets, and I wrote a piece of music about him.
Ah.
I'll send you the link, Jeff. I'll send you the link.
I would enjoy that very much.
Yeah, well, it's a poignant link, but yeah, he's one of my favorite poets.
Yep, I like the British poet laureate Benjamin. I really like him too.
Oh yes, yeah, Benjamin. Yeah.
Can I just talk to the comments a minute? I've seen Jay Travels Adventures. Hi, how you doing? And I also noticed that certain people who should remain nameless are in the Rifleman's tonight watching this. I would like to just, if you're there, it's a big shout out to the Rifleman's. When I moved to Glastonbury in 1992, that was the first pub I went into, and it was my local for years. And it was the place I went, and it's just round the corner now, and it's still a great pub. And George and Patricia are often to be seen in there with the rest of the Chiltwell crew, because Chiltwell Street now has a crew or a posse, whatever you want to call it. They all go in there. But anyway, big shout out to the Rifleman's, one of Glastonbury's good pubs. Now,
Ancient Master says, one of my heroes, John Betjeman. Yes, I love that video that he did, the end of the line. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and every time I go to Europe, I go via the train tunnel, beg your pardon. I go via St Pancras, and I always go up and I always just say hello to the statue, because as he gazes up at the roof there, that guy, that place would be a modern office block if it wasn't for him. We'd have lost that. I mean, he tried with Euston, but wasn't so successful. But he damn well saved St Pancras, bless him. And of course,
I used to work for the Royal Institute of British Architects. And Benjamin was a friend of many of my colleagues before I started working there in 1983. Okay. And some of my colleagues, they established the Georgian group, the Victorian Society, and they did a lot of work to preserve architecture, particularly in London, which the developers wanted to just destroy it.
Falling over each other to knock it down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But the other thing, of course, is John Betjeman visited probably the best railway in the world ever, the Somerset and Dorset, and he came and did the branch line from to Burnham-on-Sea, which, to my mind, if there's a god of railways, that is it. I'll argue that with anybody. That was an amazing. I loved the Somerset and Dorset, or the sad and defeated, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway. Another story, he came there, and he also did Metroland, which was good when he went out on the old Metroland.
You did? Yeah, Metroland.
Yeah. I want to move on if I can. I've got a film here to show everybody. Last show before, we had Ryan on here. I'm sure you remember Ryan. He's a great bloke, friend of mine from Glastonbury. And we got to talking, and I mentioned the fact that the housing were on my backside about getting my garden sorted out. He said, I'll come along and do that. So I thought, well, you know what? This is an opportunity for a film. So what I've got is they've got some clips which are unedited, which are going to go into the film I'm making about how he's transforming my gardens for me. So I just thought I'd let you all have a look at that today.
Brilliant, Ryan. Well done.
Because Jeff hasn't seen this yet either. So
we have Ryan with us right now. I saw him in the comments.
Are you in there?
Good man.
Call in if you like. Hang on, no, don't call in. Hang on, stop. Don't call in a minute. I've just got to do some stuff. Garden. Add to everything he needs.
Everything got the kitchen sink roughly.
Yeah, the only thing he hasn't brought is. And that's not at the beginning. That's not at the beginning. Give me 2 seconds. It's that one. It's that one. Where is it? That one. That one. That one. That one. Is it that one? Yes, it is that one. Add to stage. Tips for everybody. And Glastonbury Gate. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another YouTube video. And today I'm joined by the wonderful Ryan. Hey Ryan. The reason being is my landlords decided they didn't like my natural garden. I wanted to do something like you can see here, which attracts insects. Now for some reason they're able to do it. But when I do it, I've been told I'm in breach of my tenancy and I've got to cut it all down. So I don't know. Anyway, the animals got their own back because we found a nest out the back of the garden. So half of what we're doing has got to stop because you're not allowed to disturb birds. We are allowed, however, to clear the ground. So Ryan and I are going to carry on. So let's go and say hello to Ryan. Hey Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. I'm doing a good job.
He's doing a good job. Look at all this, ladies and gentlemen. And all this here was being cut down
I've
this
got
morning.
gloves about.
And he's got gloves. He's got everything he needs.
Everything got the kitchen sink roughly.
Yeah, the only thing he hasn't brought is a large portion of chips for everybody. And Glastonbury Gable is definitely going to make some coffee because you know me, the world revolves around coffee.
I like coffee. Everybody likes a coffee and maybe biscuits as well.
So we're going to make a big difference out here this morning. This garden will look like a garden. I wish it looked like it used to look because I really like the animals. We've already found a nest, as I say. Let me show you the nest. So here's the nest, which as you can see, as I was cutting this away from this, I found that. Now, I rang the landlords immediately and they told me I can leave shrubs and bushes alone and just concentrate on the ground. So I'm already really disappointed we've disturbed one nest. I really don't think there was a need to do this, but you know, if it's not a neat and tidy garden, cut to within an inch of its life, it doesn't count. Apparently, amongst these people, they don't understand wildlife, sadly. But anyway, we'll continue and move on. As you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan is a fast worker. Look at this garden now.
A lot better now, look.
Isn't it looking a lot better? We do have to tell you that Rowan is available if you want to have your garden looked at. We can put you in touch with him. Absolutely, you'll get a great job done.
I would. I've been into gardening quite a lot.
Well, we saw you on our video, didn't we? Don't you do a good job down at the community garden?
I do. And not a long time ago, I used to cut the grass. I got some. I can tell you about it. I used to cut the church, like the graveyards with a mower.
Did you?
I used to do mere church.
Did you crash into the gravestones or did you miss them?
Missed them, I did.
Good man.
And I used to do a church at Walton as well, like a
wow.
church in a school.
So you've got plenty of experience at doing this.
I have, really.
That's fantastic. If you find any gravestones here, do let me know.
Yeah, I will let you know straight away.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Ryan has worked like a trooper today.
I have.
So there's a little update. Let's have a look what we've got. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This was overgrown this morning. You couldn't see anything. And as Ryan is pointing at the wall there, that's where all the greenery was and you couldn't see anything. Could you, Ryan?
Not really. You couldn't see a thing. And plus your door, well.
Yeah, there's the door. And we've got the rose that's now going to grow up.
And I've got a quick announcement. I want to say I gave you all permission a cup of coffee.
We always make you a cup of coffee. Always make you a cup of coffee and pizza. And as we can see, we've also dealt with next door's ivy situation, which I don't think is a situation. I quite like ivy, but apparently it's not good for the building. So, what stage? This is stage one. So for stage one to be finished, we're going to clear the path all the way to here. Like what he's doing, line all the bin bags up against the wall, which we've done, and then hopefully my next door neighbour has got a pressure washer. I know because I gave it to him, so I'm hoping I can borrow that and we're going to pressure washer this path. The garden then is pretty much done. Stage two can then start, which is the back garden. The thing about stage 2 is we're in the nesting season, so I immediately rang the housing and they put a stop to our gardening in the back garden. Well, they put a stop to shrubs and bushes. There's nothing nesting on the ground, so we're clearing the nettles and the brambles. I've inspected, there's no activity down there at all, so we're going to get that clear. And then the last section will be when the nesting season is over and we can get in, and we'll go back and sort the rest of the bushes out, and then we'll have a front and back garden, which would be great, because I know when Jeff comes to visit, that's where he's going to spend all his time, out in the garden. Yeah. Anyway, for now, let's carry on. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the state of my front garden now, courtesy of young Ryan, who is an absolute trooper. If anybody around
He's a star.
help, he's your boy. I mean, have a chat with him, talk to me, I'll put you in touch with him, and he'll be more than pleased to come around and do your garden for you. And
I was going to say, somebody asked about your bricks, what your bricks were for.
yes. Okay, the bricks, the idea of the bricks is that I'm going to make like a patio section, but I didn't get all the bricks that I thought I was going to get. I've got less. So I'm thinking probably what I'm going to do, and I know it's completely the opposite of what I want, but I want a wilded garden. I can't have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a membrane down. I'm going to put gravel on top. I'm going to put some plants in pots around the place and use it as a room. Because I know that if I spend all this time out here with Ryan making it into a beautiful garden, within 6 months it will look like that again, because I'm not doing gardening very well. And I just like them to grow. I don't like seeing plants and things cut back and trimmed. So I guess the best thing is just to not have to worry about it. So that's my plan. But having said that, there are large trees in the back garden which I'm not going to move, and the bushes that they are nesting in, I'm not going to move them. They're staying. So I'm still going to encourage them in, but I don't want to encourage them too much, because there's one of them down there on the floor behind me. Sid, say hello. Come on, say hello. Come say hello. Go on. Come on then. Cheers, Sid. Go on, Sid. Don't be difficult. Here's Sid. Right, now this is Sid. Sid, his favourite pastime is catching anything that moves. And if it doesn't move, he'll catch it till it does move. So it's not a good idea encouraging wildlife into the back garden when he's there. And if he's not there, there are several other cats, and they use the back wall because, oh, here's Poppy. They use the back wall because in between, sorry, I am there. I am here. Excuse me, move your ass. Thank you. They know that you've made me go out of focus. See what you've done. And so it's just not fair, and it's cruel, I think, to encourage wildlife into a garden when you've got cats. I think it's irresponsible. So from that point of view, I will relinquish my wish for a wilded garden, and I will go down the black plastic and gravel route because it's safer all round. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it.
We are over an hour, and people are starting to say goodnight. Mark is saying goodnight. We should wrap this up.
I think you're right, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you to our wonderful guests. I hope you'll both come back again. There's much more I want to ask you about, Daisy. We didn't even get started.
I'll show you this next time then.
No, show us now. No. Show us now. Go on. Ready when you
want to see the vanishing silk.
The vanishing silk.
This,
here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is a yellow silk that's been dyed red.
Okay.
Okay. And this is a blue silk that's not been dyed at all. And this is a yellow silk that's not been dyed red. So we're going to use the red silk.
Which
normally I'd get somebody to choose one, but we'll use the red silk. Now, normally a magician will make a fist like that
and poke it in.
And poke it in. But the idea was the easiest way is you put your thumb. There's your thumb. you put it round and you grip your thumb very loosely and hold it like that. You take your silk, you poke it in like that. Now, if you poke it in deep down enough, it comes out the other sleeve, you see. But you don't want to do that. You see, you want to. Hold on.
How did you do that?
Now,
I don't know.
there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there. It's there.
Yeah.
I was tricking you with a second silk.
Oh,
Normally the kids spot that. Now you poke that in, poke it down, give it a good push with your thumb, right, like that. Like that. I normally do this with You didn't see that, did you? Well, we'll do it again. I'll roll my sleeves up. Hold on. I've got to get it out there. It is in there somewhere. Oh, yeah, there it is. Look.
That's it. Yeah, it's there. Yeah,
there it is. Right, okay. Well, you poke it in. See?
And then push it all
And
the
then
way
you
down.
get your thumb. You get your thumb like that. It's still in there. Still in there. I have watched just in case. I've rolled my sleeves up. What I do is I poke it right down into my hand. You see, and I do the magic. You see, it's not in this hand. Well, there is. It's not in this hand. And I just slowly it vanishes. That's called the vanishing silk.
That just blows my mind. I was watching you intently. In fact, I'm going to look back on the video. I'm going to run it slowly.
You're going to freeze frame it, yeah.
I'm going to freeze frame it, and I bet I won't see a bloody thing. That was incredible.
No, you won't. You won't. You won't. If I do the trick in reverse, what I do, right, is that's it. I grip my thumb. Right, grip my thumb. I grip my thumb like that, and I pull my
out of there. I'm never going to forgive you.
Hold on. I've got a hole in my hand. That's what it is.
Now, aren't you?
And
I hate you. Look at that. There was nothing there.
Well, there was. There was a hole. See, I've got a hole in my. I've now got a hole in the silk instead of my hand, but well, poke it back in there. Anyway, that's it. That's all you get from me.
Wow. Andrew, thank you for joining us, and thank you for telling us about the video. I have watched that guy. I think he's very interesting. I thought it was interesting. One of the things he said was he talked about people walking up from Lone Pine from the other side of the mountains up. When I was a kid, I had an aunt who lived in the town next to Lone Pine.
All right.
So I am familiar with that area, the gold region of California.
Yeah. Jeff is a very keen gold panner, aren't you, Jeff? You're quite good at it as well.
You know, there's not many things you can do in the world naked, sitting in a cold stream with a cold beer. And, you know, pool panning is one of those things.
Absolutely, Jeff. Yeah. Well, Gabe, Jeff, Dave, it's been lovely to spend this hour with you. I really enjoyed just chatting with you. I'm so pleased that Jeff, you responded to the video. I found it deeply moving. I followed this guy for about 4 years, and I love his passion.
And so thank you for all the support that you've given us. It's been wonderful. And
not at all.
We really appreciate having you around. It's great.
It's better than television. Come on.
But we'll be having you back on again soon. Don't you worry, Andrew. It'll be
it's a privilege to join you both. Yeah, and Dave as well. Good to kind of meet you.
Thank you, buddy.
Dave,
man.
tell us what's next for the Wandering Ponderer. What's next? What is the Wandering
I
Ponderer
want to
working
know
on?
about Herman. Herman's my hero. I love Herman. I don't know what he's doing. Where's Herman gonna? Where can I go see Herman? I want to see Herman. He's brilliant.
Well, what's next? What's next for me is probably going to bed. Now, I'm going to go out filming tomorrow. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm hoping the weather is
The weather is going to get better.
good. But I'm going to a very special part of town that I've not covered yet. So there's a couple of things there I need to talk about.
This is
Good
official.
man.
Before we move on and discuss anything else, please, can I do a collab with Herman? I want to come and film something with Herman. I really do. I want Herman on a film. I want to be on a film with Herman. I seriously love that guy. He's great. Would you be up for doing that? We could go and film something with him, couldn't we?
Why not?
Let's do it. I think that's brilliant. Herman. I just love Herman. He's brilliant.
Allison is asking about the pictures. She sent you pictures of her guinea pigs. I'm sure that those are in his inbox. We will edit those and we will do them on the next show because we're hoping maybe we can talk you into calling in, Allison, and telling us about your guinea pigs.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm just looking now because I threw my phone in disgust that way and I haven't got it. So I'm going to do it on my computer. Give me a second. Let's see if they're there. Gmail. I literally did. I threw my phone in desperation. So
Station Master says Railway Gala video out on Monday. And of course, the Social Club on Wednesday next.
Good.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Looking forward to that, everybody. If you don't know who that is, that's Bernie. And he has a show every other Wednesday. And he does it so that we're on a Tuesday. He's the following Wednesday, which is really great. And he's going to be out next Wednesday.
Champion.
He'll be digging out a fresh artisan-made cider for his show.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking. I've not got anything come in. Just to confirm, that email address is Glastonbury Gabriel, all one word, all lowercase, at gmail.com. Because I've not had anything come through. So I really want to see those pictures. And we'll.
Allison says I will be happy to call in on the next show. We are looking forward to that.
We are.
Absolutely.
But hopefully we'll have
a name that I see appearing in the chat, and it's very nice to have new people interacting with everybody.
And it's lovely to put faces to names, isn't it?
Exactly, Gabe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We like that. Anyway, so shall I draw the program to a close then, gentlemen?
All right.
And Herman. Okay then. Well, thank you everybody for coming along tonight. Thank you for everybody who's been in the comments. It fills me with joy every time we do this, and you all take your time and come along and listen to our wafflings. It's truly amazing.
Communities.
Yes, it's truly amazing, and we are trying to build a community on here.
Doing a good job, Gabe.
We'll get there. We'll build that community, and it's your show. Don't forget, it's your show. You can send in your videos. You can send in your chats. You can talk on the motorsport there. You can call us up. You can ring us and tell us we're a bunch of idiots or whatever. But interact, get involved.
I don't want to be called an idiot.
I'm just ad-libbing here. I'm just ripping. But basically, if you want to get involved, we want you to get involved. The more the merrier. With your content, with your ideas. We might not be doing something you'd like us to do. It's just something we don't do that you'd like to see, like me shut up more and let Jeff talk more, maybe. I don't know. Send us your ideas. And next time on the next show, we will be selecting our next There and Back in a Day, because I've just done one to Bournemouth and back, which I haven't put together yet. So that's going to be coming out really soon. And so on the next show, we'll be picking the next one. But if you'd all like to say goodnight one at a time, I will call it a day.
Good night. It's been a joy. A joy to spend this hour and a half with you all.
Absolutely wonderful.
Nice to see you, Andrew.
You too, Dave. We'll catch up on another live, I'm sure.
We will. And probably this one, in fact, is a great group. We'll come back again.
Indeed.
Jeff,
we need to grow this channel more.
as ever, love and hugs to you, brother. We wouldn't be doing it without you, Jeff. So thank you.
Yeah, Jeff, you're a hero.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thumbs up.
And he doesn't wear his underpants outside his trousers. But then he doesn't wear underpants, so he can't. But I mean,
I only see the top half, so who knows what's going on below.
Anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you for coming along, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time and on Bernie's show next week. Good night.
Absolutely.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night,
Bye.
everyone.